Hey team, I'm Alex and welcome to the channel. We left the last video with the engine built and the spark verified at the plug. In readiness to start the mower, I mounted the engine on the chassis and fitted the governor and throttle cable, allowing me to verify that all the moving parts and springs seemed okay, and all of that seemed to operate fine. And with that done, there's nothing really left to do but to fit the cowling and the fuel tank, chuck in some petrol, and give it a go. It's all set up, there's petrol in it. Let's go. Ooh. Sophie, out the way.
Oh!
Enough.
Bit more throttle.
Less.
Yeah, it's good. Open the butterfly.
Okay. It works. Fine tuning now. Let's see if I can start it again. Well, fine-tuning turned into a problem, as I couldn't get the mower running again. After much head-scratching and checking for spark goodness and carb setup, etc., I concluded the carb was the problem area. And so to eliminate this, I sourced a recon unit from eBay, and that actually allowed me to get the engine running again. Okay team, we got it running. The issue was the carburetor. So this is a recon carb that we fitted on. And notwithstanding it actually leaks a bit of petrol, we got the engine running and it's just ticked over quite nicely. There's some oil leaks from the valve chest and also from the cam spindle. I can fix all that hopefully. But that's good. We let it idle for a good 15-20 minutes until it ran out of petrol and nothing's gone bang. So happy days. You have an engine that works. Okay, so following that bit of engine running, we now need to do some cleaning up. So there's going to be a fair bit of engine strip. We're going to take off the fuel tank, the cowling, the starter, the carburetor, the throttle cable, the exhaust. And that'll allow us to get to the valve chest, so I can fix the oil seal there. I've already depainted the area where it was leaking where the camshaft goes, and also the sump needs to come off because it was leaking around the bottom there as well. So I get all those gaskets replaced and resealed. That's the plan. So without further ado, let's get taking it apart. Okay, so I've got the valve chest off, got the sump off. That's all happy days. I've given the valve chest a good old clean. That's fine. And I happen to have a spare gasket for the valve chest. It's obviously for a slightly different model because of the screw holes, where I can cut those off and it'll still be a sealable gasket. And when I reapply the gasket, I'm going to fix it with a bit of high temp red RTV as well, just to ensure that that previous oil leak doesn't come back. That's my plan. So without further ado, I'm just going to give this gasket a little haircut. So it's going to look a bit like that. Okay. Same on this side. There we go. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get a bit of a gasket sealant on this. Okay, so there's my sealant on the gasket. Let's just apply that flush to the thing, and that will then squash down and make a seal on one side. And I'm going to do the same on the inner face of the valve chest cover. The chest itself. Really much this. There's a small area to seal. This continues to be subscription. That'll be fine. So similarly there, and what I now do is just plonk that over that, and that will make a nice seal the other side. Like that. And I put the fixing nut on. And you tighten it up until you see the sealant squeezing out. And then you wait for an hour and then you give it another bit of a turn. Okay, so similar to the valve chest, I've done the same with the sump gasket, and I'm going to get this put on now. Perfect. And now we can just plonk the sump on, which has had the same treatment. I'll just get that plonked on now, and we can nip it up. Brilliant. There's also a heavy washer on the top that clamps down onto the sump when fitting the sump with a bolt, and there's a gasket on there, and that was leaking there as well. And I've noticed that this gasket is actually torn, which will explain why it's leaking, if you can see that tab there. So luckily enough, I have a spare gasket So that'll go on there in a jiff, and that should fix that as well. Highly man on that. We should be done. Okay, I'll leave that now for an hour, and then we'll give it another little nip up, and that should be that. Right, one last job. I'll have a bit of JB Weld on that. Fill this void here with it. And also I noticed there was petrol leaking from the petrol cap, and there's a pinhole in it. So I'll get that filled now as well while I'm here. I'll sand that back after. So let that cure. The same one here. I'll just let that harden off, and I'll sand that back as well. So that's all that done. All the immediate repairs of oil leaks and whatnot that I'm aware of. Now I'll let all this cure for 24 hours, tidy it up, and then we'll reassemble the rest of the engine and start it again, and confirm that these oil leaks have now been cured. Let's give it another go. Get some fuel running down. It's coming down okay. Fill the bowl up. That's flooded it okay. That down up the way. And so begins the starting process. This is not the easiest engine to start, and I thought I was back to square one, where I was back in the summer, not being able to start it again. This could only be a spark issue or a kind of carb throttle issue. Jesus, I was creating a spark, alright? Fucking hell. Well, it's not the spark then. and it almost ran. Typically, off camera, I pulled the cord again and the engine spluttered into life. That was a relief. So as before, I let it idle for a good 20 minutes to assess the goodness of the oil leak fixes. So the good news is the leaky petrol cap, the sump and the camshaft spindle are no longer leaking. Sadly, the valve chest is, together with the leaks from the crankshaft and the oil. So there's still more to be done with the engine, but I'm going to park it for now and get the mower chassis stripped down to assess what remaining work is left to do. So, stay tuned for the next episode. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching.